Hey guys, a little bit more of a different video. Today I'm gonna go on a photo shoot at a condo here in town and show you the whole process of what it takes and what I do to get all the shots that I need for that. So come along and we hang out today. So I am headed right now to a photo shoot for one of my client that I've had for several years now. And this is a condo, just a normal condo in a big condo complex down on the beach. Today has been several days that we have not had any rain, so the water should be pretty good color because of the rain and wind and stuff that stirs up the bottom of the water and creates just a murky color. So it's been several days without any rain or anything, so we should have good color for the water. A couple things to consider about doing a photo shoot at a condo like this on the water is, one, you need to make sure that you're getting good exposures, especially of the windows looking out, because the big selling feature or a big renting feature of a condo on the beach is that the views that you see from being inside the condo. That so much of that is those first couple photos showing the view and what it looks like from inside the condo. Being able to see out of the windows is such a big selling and renting feature for properties like this. So when I take photos of a property, I usually do 5 exposures, 5 brackets, and I separate them by two stops of exposure each, so that I'm covering a wide range of light between the shadows and then the highlights. And that seems to work out pretty well, where I know that I'm going to be getting at least one exposure that has a clear shot, a clear view, clear exposure of the outside, and then the high exposure to get it, make sure I can still get it bright inside the unit. So that's something to definitely consider. You can do it with 3 exposures. It gets a little bit, you just have less options. If you happen to expose it maybe not quite right. When I do expose my photos, I always, when you can see the exposure meter at the bottom, I always expose my photos just below 0, just below, so 0.3, just below 0, so that I know I just have some room. That way I have some room to brighten it up if I need to. But I'd rather get a darker image that I can brighten up instead of a image that's too light and then I lose all the data in those bright sections that I can't get back. So I always just underexpose just by 0.3 on the meter. So that's what's happening today. I will head over there and show you guys how it happens. Here's some things that I really enjoy about being a photographer, especially in real estate. The number one thing is that I do get to spend a lot of time outside, especially working on the coast. I spend a good amount of the day, if I'm on a shoot, being outside, being partly on the beach or just outside in general, taking photos. And so I'm not spending my whole day inside or in a car. So I enjoy that. Enjoy being out in the sun. Another thing is that I've seen some incredible properties. I've been at some incredible houses that you stand there and go, man, how did I end up here being able to take photos of this incredibly expensive or incredibly beautiful property? And that's, looking back on some of my favorite houses, that's just something that I enjoy. I think also for me, being in these huge expansive houses has also, I think, changed my mind about maybe wanting such a big house. I mean, I'm sure for a lot of people they think, oh, growing up I want to be in a huge house, live in a huge house. But I still enjoy being able to go to these beautiful homes, whether they're on the beach or penthouses, or just large estates that really, I just think look fantastic, and they're well landscaped, and they're designed and inside very well and beautiful, and so that's definitely something that I enjoy. Another thing is being a photographer is that a lot of times I get to take my family with me in the car, especially if we're going to be driving down to an area that's an hour and a half away. They get to come with me in the car, and we get to hang out all day and drive to the shoot, and maybe they'll hang out in the car for an hour or so, hour and a half, while I go shoot this property. So that's really been a good, that's really been a nice thing for our family is those shoots that I'm gonna be gone for a little bit that day, for just all of us to get in the car and go together and still be together during the day. I really enjoy that. Alright guys, I'm here at a shoot right now. This is that big building condo we're gonna shoot right here. I got my camera and we're gonna go and shoot this one. Should be a pretty quick shoot, but let's get to it. Hey guys, things did not go as planned at the condo today. We actually had several people coming in and out during the shoot because it is an active rental, and there was a quick turnaround as far as getting everything shot and prepared for the next people that had rented the condo coming in later that day. So unfortunately I wasn't able to shoot at all, really, or that much while I was at the condo to show you, all the settings and stuff I'm using and how I'm going through the condo shooting. So we'll have to save that for another day when I can do it at a property properly. But I still wanted to go over the settings and the workflow that I use so that you can see how I would shoot a condo on the beach. First, when I get to a property, I walk through it and turn on all the lights, seeing if any lights are out and which bulbs I can use to replace those bulbs that are out. Also, I will go through and turn off all of the fans. For real estate, I shoot HDR photos. HDR means high dynamic range. This means that when I take a photo, I'm actually taking 5 different photos at different exposures so that I can preserve the highlights and the shadows, then take those 5 different exposures and merge them together in post. To do this, my Sony A7 III makes this very easy by adjusting the bracket settings, where I can choose how many photos I want to take and what the exposure value in between each of those photos is. I usually shoot 5 photos with 2 stops in between each photo. That comes to a total of 8 stops of dynamic range, from the shadows all the way to the highlights that I have to work with when I merge those photos together. I also have the self timer set for 2 seconds. I do this so that I can hit the shutter button and step away, and the camera can count down 2 seconds and then take those 5 exposures all in succession, and I don't have to sit there with my hand on the camera and hit each exposure like that. I do this so I'm not touching the camera while the exposures are being taken, so that I may not bump or nudge the camera while the photos are being taken, so that I know each of the 5 photos will align perfectly. I'm using the Laowa 12mm 0D lens for a Sony E-mount camera. Now, the 0D stands for zero distortion, which means that on the edges, especially on such a wide lens, you are not getting the bowing that you would normally see on a wide lens or like a GoPro. But the 0D means that there is no bowing or distortion, so the edges are straight, which is very helpful, especially when I'm lining up the image with appliances or walls or anything. I know I can look and see that it's all going to be straight, which is super helpful. I also have a custom button set on my Sony A7 III for APS-C 35mm crop. This means when I put it in APS-C mode, there is a crop factor of 1.5 on the sensor that is being used to take the image. This means when I'm using a 12mm lens in APS-C mode, I am now effectively using a 18mm lens because there is a crop factor of 1.5 on the sensor. So with 12mm on a full sensor, you have a 12mm lens. But if you crop a 12mm lens by 1.5, that gives you an effective view of 18mm. I do this for a couple reasons. One
If there's a shot that I don't necessarily need such a wide shot of, I can simply hit that button and crop in and still get the shot and help with framing it. Sometimes I just need to get a little bit closer than the 12 millimeters, a 12 millimeter width that I would normally shoot with. This actually saves time in post because you might say, why don't you just take the photo, then you can crop it in post? Well, this way I can essentially just crop it in camera and frame shots like that without having to go back through and remember which ones I needed to crop or not. And this way I can just move a lot quicker, hit the button, get the shot framed the way I want it to, and then take the photo and not have to worry about going back in post to crop the photo. Ultimately, I think I get great results from this setup and also this workflow that helps me move quickly through a property to get the photos that I need. All right, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this workflow, this setup, the camera, the lenses, everything that I talked about. You let me know in the comments. If you have any questions about any of the gear that I'm using, I'll make sure that I get back to you as soon as I can. Also, hey, while we're here, let's talk about real estate and shooting real estate photos and video on your phone. We have 2 courses in the description below I want you to check out. Mobile photography for real estate and also mobile video pro for real estate. Check those out below. Also, before you go, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to this channel. We have lots more videos like this coming out so that you can take better photos and video to grow your brand. I'm Nick with Table 19 Media. I will see you in the next video.